welcome back to another episode. Today we're just going to take care of some minor stuff, put this back in the car. I think I'm going to do some stuff with the brakes here. Anyways, let's just get rolling here and get moving on to some other stuff. Alright, so it was probably around a year ago, thereabouts, where I showed some new brakes that I'm going to be swapping onto this thing. So let's just get some of it taken care of and out of the way. So it's just one less thing that I have to do with this thing under the car. So essentially this is going to be one of the easiest upgrades you can probably do, because it's a pretty much exact fit. Now the brakes that I got were from a CLK 500, probably about a 2004 era, which should be identical in the rear to what the SRT Crossfire has. So it's pretty much just take off the old brake caliper. If you've got the locating bolt in there, you got to take that out. And then you just thump it out. Now this vehicle has the parking brake drum right inside the disc, so that's what this contraption is. But the new rotor like I said earlier, the new rotor is the same part number as a SRT. So just for comparison's sake, not a huge difference, but what I liked is how thick it is and how you get the venting going. So I'll keep the brakes quite a bit cooler for when we're beating the crap out of this thing. And because it's bigger, it doesn't exactly fit. So easiest just give that a good old smack. And there you go. Ta-da! It's like you could probably trim this outer ridge off, but quite frankly, I don't really care. And then we just grab our caliper. I don't have brakes for this yet, but I figure I can get everything else bolted up beforehand. I would have picked some up locally, but you know how Mercedes parts and local inventory goes. and you'll need longer bolts. Alright, so I'll have to get longer bolts now. I never noticed that before. Oh yeah. Okay. Longer bolts it is. Alright, so just a couple millimeter longer bolts. And everything's mounted up in there and looking pretty decent. I'll still have to get some pads in here to put on there, but all in all, that should work for now. So now what I have to do is shove this thing back in the car. Alright, so we're just about got this thing in. Stock springs. Unfortunately, I'll have to go to something different. But I don't want to mess around with that until I have all the weight on the car. So for now, we'll just shove the old ones in. And there you go. Now after getting some measurements off this thing, I'm thinking, depending on what size I go with, I could probably go with a 2.5 inch inner diameter. The inner diameter of this. Yeah, that's flat up there. The inner diameter of these guys are about 2.8 inches. And so if you go with a 2.5, it's going to be like a 1/4 inch smaller as a whole. So I'm thinking there's enough wiggle room that if we get a heavy enough spring, that 2.5 inner diameter stays the same, and then it pushes the outer diameter to about what this is. So that's what I'm thinking, but they'll just have to wait for another day. It's kind of a shame since I already have them out, but it is what it is, and I need to get moving forward. So I guess we just finished shoving this thing up there. All right, so everything's under there. We're good to go again. That's what we're looking at the back side. Got access to the fill and drain. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. Now there was one downside, something I forgot when doing the brakes. I forgot to back out the drums on the parking brake. I forgot to back them out, so as I put everything on, they're kind of binding up a little bit because they need to be backed out for a brand new drum set. So, anyways, we'll hold off on doing that until I get the brake pads in. Then I can just jack it up, back them out a little bit, and carry on. But so far we're looking pretty nice. All of our shafts we have space around. There's an ugly weld, but that is looking pretty nice to me. You see how much space we got there. So that's excellent. Okay. So I guess for this point in time, my work here is done. Alright, well that should be enough for today. I'm gonna call this an episode, but if you're sleeping under a rock and don't really know much what's developing in the LS world, those that watch other channels on YouTube, probably Cletus and Sloppy Mechanics, there's that new Holley Terminator X that just launched ECU for these LS swaps, and it's pretty much just starting at $1,000, and it's got everything we need. So what that does is makes it so we don't have to spend $1,200 on like a Mega Squirt gold box, and it would allow your tuner type people to be a little more comfortable in the software, because a lot of professional tuners will shy away from the Mega Squirt just because they figure open source is garbage. But the Holley brand looks like a good little ECU that we can play around with, and it's got that little panel on, LCD panel that comes with it to put in your bass tune, and you can actually use it to see certain gauges and readouts. So that's probably the direction we're going to aim with this thing, but we got a lot more stuff to do before then, and they'll come out with a few more SKU packages that will work with different generation of injectors. Like you have the EV1, EV6, and right now they have everything set up for if you have a 58X Gen 4 block, like what we have, that right now the harness that comes with it is only goes onto the brand new injectors. So if you get some of those older style 1500cc guys, you need either those adapter pieces or get another harness. But eventually they'll package them all together and you can pick and choose what pieces you want. So anyways, that's all I got for everything for today. And yeah, not much more to say. So I guess I'll just see you later.